Hello guys, this is Vengeancer here, back to bring you another video. Today's topic is going to be contribution points in our episode 2 of our tax-free silver making guide that I am currently making. Contribution points, or CP as I'm going to refer to them, they're very similar to skill points for combat skills, although they're not used the same as skill points. If you look up the top of the screen here, you see you have 3 different things. I already talked about energy. Those are combat skill points to buy your combat skills with, and then the other one is contribution points. I'll hover over that for a little bit so you can get a read on that description. If you're playing the game, you've probably already read that before. Now, you get CP experience similar to leveling experience or skill point experience. It fills up your bar, I guess you could call it. Once it gets to 100%, you get a contribution point. The way you earn this is through quests, or there are a couple of byproducts from the cooking and alchemy professions or life skills that you can exchange for experience as well. Now, there's no max limit, but there is a soft cap. And if you read the description there, once you hit 400, you're soft capped, and you're unable to get CP as quickly. I'm currently sitting at 364. I would like to get to 400. I just haven't put the time in to do it yet. Now, these CP are a form of currency. They're used for basically renting things, like nodes, workshops, more storage, different tools and armor and weapons, or renting farms. Most of these things, aside from the weapons and armor, are for life skills, which is why I'm talking about it, because life skills are a big part of my tax-free silver making methods. Now, the Black Desert node system, let me open the map, switch over to this. Every little icon on here is a node. Every location has a node. You spend the CP to invest in one. The big towns, you get them for free. They're already acquired, but each separate node you have to pay a certain amount of CP to get. And you want an extensive node empire. If you see the ones that are lit up gold, this is my node empire. The ones that are gray are ones that I do not have purchased, like these. But the ones that I do have purchased have a little gray path between them, meaning that they're connected. Now, I've spent the CP to connect all the way from there, all the way across the map. And this will be important later because I need to be connected here for doing trade crates, which I will explain in a future video. It is one of the big methods that I will use for making silver that is tax-free. Now, you want the nodes connected because you can transport resources in between each big city. Plus, it affects the trade bonus that you get when turning in the crates. Now, some of these nodes are considered passive income, because once you invest in a node, let's zoom in on one here. These little icons above the node mean that I have workers here. I have invested in the node, plus I've invested in a couple of the industries that are contained inside the node. And you can assign a worker to do the work here and farm things for you. This is how you do the very basic resource generation, which I will explain more thoroughly in a future video. I will break down different resource generation and what needs to happen to set up a node system to get this running. But for now, just for the purpose of learning about contribution points, nodes cost CP. You get CP by gaining experience from quests and exchanging the byproducts and that is how you get resources through the nodes with your workers. The other major important thing to learn here is that your CP limit, so 364 for me, determines how many Imperial turn-ins you can do per day. The reason this is important is because Imperial turn-ins are how you exchange a lot of your resources for liquid silver. And the Imperial turn-ins is how you go around using the central market and avoiding the tax. So it's very important. The way that it determines the number of Imperial turn-ins you can do is you basically take your contribution points and cut them in half. So mine is 364 divided by 2. And that's how many I can do. I guess I can run over there real quick and show you. Zoom out here. Makes me a little dizzy. The Imperial crafting guy.
The best human endeavor is to become
so I can turn in 182, which is multiply that by 2 and you get 364. That's my limit. 400 is a magic number. Like I said, for the soft cap, it's fairly easy to get there if you do put in the time. And it allows you to turn in 200 of these boxes every day. A lot of the resources will be funneled into these boxes, and you get so much silver per. Your trading level and stuff will affect that, like your mastery for each respective, like alchemy and cooking. The mastery on that will affect that, and I'll go over all this stuff in one of the next videos that I do. But for now, that's what I got on CP. And let's see if I can find any other details that I want to relay here. Oh, I meant to mention, you start out with 0, just like you do with energy when you first make the character. As you do the main quest, you will get some, but moving through the game, you want to do some of these suggested quests and stuff. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, you get CP experience on each one, like a bunch of these quests. Most quest turn-ins give you CP. I've done quite a few, but between that, the fastest way is probably still the byproducts and turning them in, but most quests also give CP. There are some that give more than others. But once you have a certain fairly significant amount of contribution points, you can get a worker empire up and running that will start generating you a bunch of resources that are very, very useful to funnel into making passive silver, and then eventually active silver with the other life skills. It's very important to have the energy and the contribution points up and running so that you can funnel it into the other ones and get the silver so you can buy combat gear. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the game, is getting better and better combat gear for PvP and the higher level areas. Next video I will go over the life skills and how I break them down into 3 different categories. It's not necessarily maybe the correct categories, but that's how I break them down and how I view them. And then I'll start touching on what each life skill is. And we have a list of them here, and I'll go over these levels and that kind of stuff. And that should make a fairly long video because there's a lot there to get into. So thanks for watching, and look for the next part, and I will see you guys in the next video.